around 16 years. I've been a sis for a while. I was a minis coordinator going back when Lachlan was playing minis. I've done a bit of coaching, team managers and all that sort of stuff. This guy's been here twice as long as me. I've always looked up to Willow, I don't know why, but he's been treasurer ever since I've been in the club. He puts more time and effort into this club than ever anyone else I know. I'm here a fair bit, but every time I turn up, he's in the canteen doing something. Greeny's the only one that gets close to spending as much time as he does here, so. This guy was around in the good days and the bad days where we were struggling. He's got us out of the doldrums and was looking really good, and he's got us back up to where we were. We've won 3 premierships in the last, 7 or 8 years. So we've seen some success. We're going to see that again soon. So I'm going to hand over to Steve. I was going to say, I love you, Willow, and one of the things he loves me doing is giving me a hug. If he ever gets grumpy and you're into the kitchen or in the canteen, just go around and give him a hug because he loves hugs. Alright?
Thanks, Dave. You stole half my thunder there, mate. Like mentioned before, Willow's been inducted into the SFL Life Membership Hall of Fame, so it's a fantastic effort. As a player, it is easier to get into something like that, but as a volunteer, it's certainly, you've got to put the hard yards in, and obviously in Willow's role, you know, it is a back of the scenes type role, and you're not noticed as much as someone running around on the field. So it's a fantastic effort that Willow's been inducted in. Give a round of applause to Willow again. I've thought of 5 words that typifies Willow, and I'm sure everyone here would agree. He's honest, he's loyal, he's hardworking, he's trustworthy, and he's consistent.
And grumpy.
And they're 5 fantastic traits, and he does so much for this footy club, and he's never wanted anything in return. He just comes in, rolls the sleeves up, head down, bum up, and you know, we love him at Ranella. He's done so much for everyone. You know, everyone in this room, some more than others, especially us players, current players, past players, you know, future players. The consistent thing is that Willow is always here. So Willow, how long have you actually been here, and when did you first come?
27 years. I came in 1991 when Scott, my son, came from Ranella East over to here and played under 13. So ever since then I've been on a committee, and I've been treasurer 25 years, either in the juniors or in the seniors.
Actually, Willow did leave off that he was a boundary umpire out here once upon a time, believe it or not. That's my actual first memory, Willow. Is that true?
Yeah, it's mostly easier to say what I haven't done compared to what I've done. So at the Hall of Fame, that's how I explained it, that it's easier to say I haven't done this, I haven't been president, I haven't been vice president or the secretary. But I reckon I've done nearly everything else. I've been boundary umpire, goal umpire, team manager, and whatever, timekeeper, sweeping down the stairs, doing the line marking. You name it, I've done it, other than the 3 that I've mentioned.
Yeah, so Willow's obviously done a lot in the canteen, a lot in the kitchen. He's working behind the bar now. He gets all the food for the footy club. I reckon he spends 2 days at least working for the footy club, probably 3. And you know, he's never one to complain or say anything bad about anyone. He just gets on with the job. What's your funniest memory, Willow, along the way?
That's a hard one, Steve.
Especially from the front.
I can't really, because being an administrator, like, and everything like that, like at the Hall of Fame, they had players that were inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they could tell stories of their playing days and all the various things that occurred while they were playing. But being an administrator, you don't have those kind of stories to tell. You just do your job and that's it, and that's the end of it. So
Any big
yeah.
nights out?
Big pun?
Any big nights out, Billy?
Any
Big nights out at the club. That's got to be a good
yeah, I can remember, I can go back many a year when Gary Summerton might have been president and Steve Keane was the coach, and we had the black and white ball up here, and we went through all there was about 5 of us, we went through, they used to have cocktails and stuff like that on the bar downstairs. We went through all of them, and I can remember I just looked over the road, there's a bump just by the bowling club that I did a nice spill, but I didn't let go of the briefcase. And people say that when I die, the briefcase will be in my coffin. So, yeah, so I suppose that's funny, but to me it's not.
So I find that hard to believe. He's the first guy in to open the bar up and the last to leave, and he doesn't have too many funny stories. So he's maybe holding a few back for various people. Okay, well, what's your best memory of Ranella?
It's the best memory is a family club and everything, and that's how I treat it. It's part of the family, and the boys, the players, everybody else that is involved. It's great to be involved in it. We have some fun, we grumble, grizzle, and everything like that. But yeah, that's the most important thing, that it is a family club. And I hope that's why everybody's here, because I think that's very important, that you support each other, the players get on well with each other and things like that.
Very good, Willow. And why this footy club's here today, one of the reasons, back in the early 2000s, financially the footy club was struggling for money. I think they might have been they were needing a cash injection, and Willow put his hand in his pocket and gave the club a considerable loan, and that just kept the club topped up for a couple of years until we were able to get back on our feet. So, you know, that's just a fantastic quality that someone can do that.
It wasn't a substantial amount and everything. I worked for a bank, so I got myself a personal loan and everything, but it wasn't a substantial amount. It just to make sure at the end of the year the club was still in existence, it had money in the bank and everything like that. But it wasn't substantial. I'll even tell you, it was $5,000.
The reason he's saying it wasn't substantial, he doesn't want every man and their dog coming up to him for a loan. That's why I said, oh, Willow's got money, let's go around there. He's got a briefcase too. Okay, so you've been secretary for 25 years, treasurer, sorry. Can you name all of the past presidents from your time? So obviously...
Gary Summerton, Brian Proctor, Terry O'Sullivan, Jeff May, yeah. Like, we've been fairly lucky. Most of the presidents do put a fair few years into it and everything like that. So, and that's an, how can I put it? It's ungrateful because they get all the, I'll say, shit thrown at them from parents and everything that aren't happy because the kid's not being selected and things like that. My job behind the scenes is a lot easier. I just have to worry about one word, and that word is everybody knows it. Subs.
Any reason you missed Darren Adams out there, mate?
And me.
Let me refer back to honest, loyal, hard-working, trustworthy and consistent. Yep, 5 things Darren wasn't. Yep, no worries. Okay, so who would be, hard question, but who would be your best mate at Ranella Footy Club in all of those years?
That's a hard one too because it varies, but I suppose for the length of time and everything, Terry O'Sullivan, who was president, he's still around, he's not involved with the club, but he always turns up. And yeah, I would say Terry, and like Dave Denyer, he's been the president for the last 3-4 years. Dave, is it? 5. And I know his wife would kind of say that's long enough and everything, and she's nodding. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and they're a good tandem, Dave and Dave, so keep it up, boys. It's great chemistry and it's fantastic for the footy club. Okay, so Willow, who in your time here would you say the best player that you've seen at Ranella is? Another hard question.
Well, this is a question I got asked at the Hall of Fame, and I mentioned I think 4 or 5. I said Shane Smith, and I think he won 4 or 5 best and fairest in a row, and he would play, he'd be injured but he'd still play. And also I mentioned you, Steve, with your flair and everything. The other person I mentioned was Elijah Ware. He was silky, but he only played 2 years, and I think one of the grand finals we can be grateful that Elijah played. And no, not Milo. He is a character, Milo. How could I forget Michael Dowdy? To play AFL and finish in AFL, and he said to us a few years before he finished, he would come and play at Ranella. And he was true to his word. He said he played 1 year and he played 4, and the influence he had at the club was for the young ones and everything. He was brilliant. So they were the 4 I think I mentioned at the Hall of Fame, and I mostly miss some, which is, you know, you can only go by your memory. So yeah.
Good one, Dave. So outside of Ranella Footy Club, what do you actually do, mate? You involved in grandkids, or got a girlfriend on the side, mate? I'm not sure what you get up to.
To the last one, no, I haven't got a girlfriend. I'm too staying away and everything like that. I've got 4 grandkids. My daughter's got 2 girls, and my son's got a boy and a girl. And they occupy a bit of the time, but I just like, if I'm not at the club, I like just relaxing and just doing normal things around the house.
Good stuff, Dave. Yeah, just finishing off, Dave. What's the future of yourself here, mate? What's your plans going forward, and also how do you see the club in the next 2-3 years?
Well, I would like somebody that would like to put up their hand to become treasurer, because It's getting to a stage where I would be around for a year or two to help them out, but it's getting to a stage, if it was my son, Scott, he would say, Dad, just leave, but I wouldn't do that, and everything, so, I'll be around as long as I'm needed, and as long as I am capable of doing it, and because I enjoy it so much. And what was the last part of it? the future of the club. We've got a lot of juniors. It's a matter of making sure they go through the grades. We teach them the way we want them to play, and to make sure we keep them. That's the hardest thing, because I know since I've been here, and I think every club would agree to it, the 17 and a halves are the hardest boys to keep going through the grades, because they're doing year 12, they've maybe got a job, they've got a car, they've got a girlfriend, and there's so many things that can change their lifestyle that we've got to make sure we keep our juniors, because really Brunella thrives on our juniors. We don't pay outsiders that much, and I think that's very important as a club, that we keep that going as long as we can.
So if everyone could raise their glasses to Dave and just give him a cheers, and a big thank you from everyone here at the Footy Club, past, the present, and congratulations to Dave Willoughby, the ultimate clubman for an hour.